Everybody knows the three big glove brands, Rawlings, Wilson, and Mizuno. But what if I told you there's a new American brand manufacturing gloves out of Japan? Today, we're gonna talk about Jax. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you guys wanna see in upcoming videos. All right, let's get right into it. As a glove collector, I'm always eager to try new brands, but I know the regular consumer wants to stick to the glove brands that they've known their whole life. So today, I'm gonna explain why you're gonna wanna give Jax a try. The first point I wanna bring up with Jax is that they don't feel like any other glove that's available on the American market. The best gloves in the world are manufactured out of Japan, so Jax decided to do something different, and instead of manufacturing in the Philippines or Vietnam like other American companies, they manufacture out of Japan. Overall, they use really good materials outside and inside the glove that make them really light and comfortable without sacrificing durability. Something else Jax really focuses on is comfort. And when I say comfort, I don't mean the traditional American glove type of comfort that's really soft and cushiony on the inside, and gloves that have like all those pinky and thumb inserts. You don't really need that on a glove if it's high quality and made with really good materials. For example, on this Jax Catcher's Mitt prototype, not only is it really comfortable on the hands because it's smooth on the inside, it also really follows an ergonomical hand shape here. When you put on a lot of mitts, it feels like you're kind of wearing them like this, but this one really feels like your hand is cupping around the ball when you put the mitt on. Here I have a really special Pro Department custom Jax. Thanks to Jackson from Coachella Gloves for sending this one over. The really nice thing about this glove, for example, it's an outfield model. You put the glove on and automatically your hand wants to go tune the pinky, even though it's not necessarily tune the pinky. And what I mean by that is there's one finger in the pinky loop here, but then your ring finger goes right next to it. These gloves are really unique and they don't feel like anything that is available on the American market. Now you might be wondering, what does Jax specialize in? Do they make stock gloves? Do they make custom? They make small batches of really nice stock gloves. And the small batches helps keep the quality really consistent, but they also have a lot of colors to choose from. For example, I have a blue glove, I got a red one, I got a nice dark chocolate brown, I have an orange tan. Of course, they also have black, blonde, tan. So if you want to get something sleek, but also colorful, you can definitely do that with Jax. Well, what if I want to get a glove with a bunch of colors on it? Jax doesn't do that because they want to keep their colors consistent. See, when a glove is being made, it's usually made from one or two pieces of hide. Now, if you keep that glove to one color, then that means all the leather pieces on the glove come from the same sheet of leather. So that means the leather is really consistent in thickness, and that just makes the glove even more comfortable. Just in general, guys, when you want to design a glove, you want to keep the colors to 2 to 3 maximum, just so you have a more consistent feel on the glove. Again, Jax does a great job because their gloves are usually just one color. They really keep true to the Japanese vibe. As you can see, these are really Japanese designs. They got a palm overlay here on the finger. Even this Catcher's Mitt prototype has a really Japanese boxy form, which I absolutely love. Here's the outfield model again, right? Really Japanese form. And this is another infield glove, just a little bit larger than the other one here. I'm gonna go into the models in a second. Really Japanese form on this one as well. So now I'm going to break down the different models. Even though I only have 4 models on me right now, I was lucky enough to try out pretty much every Jax model back in San Diego last year. So I'm going to talk about every model now. This one right here is the DM5. It's an infield pattern, but this one's a little different. It's the DM5S, so it just means it's a little smaller. It's 11.25 compared to the regular DM5, which is 11.5. And this one is my favorite Jax in terms of feel. It's super light, and even though it's small, it has a really nice pocket that sits right by the thumb. So you have really good control of the ball. So if you don't want to get the 11.25, I recommend the 11.5, just the regular DM5. It's really good. This one's the EN7. If you like American style ball gloves, I would recommend this one just because it has a much deeper pocket, but it still also keeps that Japanese tradition with its shape. This one is the LJ10. It's their outfield model. This one features an H-web. The LJ10S is their 12.25 model. And you might be wondering, do they have an 11.75? They don't have an 11.75 yet. But this 12.5-inch glove has a really wide and deep pocket, so I don't think it has any less fielding capabilities as a glove that's a little bit longer. This one right here is a Jax Catcher's Mitt, but this one's a prototype. They haven't launched their final design yet, but I can let you know now that based on their prototype, their Catcher's Mitts are going to be phenomenal. This one is a 35-inch, so it's a little bit big, but it's proportionally lighter than other gloves. I weighed this one next to a Rawlings Pro Preferred 34-inch mitt. And even though this one is bigger, this one actually weighs exactly the same as the 34-inch Rawlings Catcher's Mitt. So proportionally, it's lighter. I'm sure if they make like a 33 or a 33.5, it'll be a really lightweight glove. So first up, we got the DM5S. This glove feels really good too in the pinky. Just a great pocket, and it sounds amazing. I really wish these mics could pick up the sound because they sound really good. And that goes for all the gloves that Jax produces. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of how light they are and how nice they fit to your hand that they're so loud. but they're just incredible. So the nice thing about the DM5 is that even though it's a Japanese style glove, it really does feel good too in the pinky, which is really popular in America. So if you're a middle infielder or second baseman, I would definitely recommend the DM5. Yeah, dude. I mean, the pocket is super nice. When you catch it in the pocket, it just sits so well in the glove and it feels super stable. Like, that is not going anywhere at all. That right there is fantastic. Next up, we got the N7, and I did mention that this glove is really good for baseball players that are used to American gloves like Rawlings, because it's a really versatile type of glove. You can break it in shallow, you can break it in deep with tuned pinky or traditional, but I recommend this glove traditional for some reason. I don't know, it just feels better. And I'm not a guy that usually wears his gloves traditionally, but I don't know, something about this glove feels really nice traditional. But again, if you want to go tune the pinky, it's really possible on this glove. All right, now we're going to take some grounders. I'm going to start with the DM5S. I'm not an infielder, and I think we've gone over this before, so don't judge me if like it doesn't look good, but it feels really good either way. Even though the pocket is pretty deep, it's a small glove, so you can make really good transfers with this one. Yep. Now we got the EN7. This one I think I recommend for third baseman just because it's a little bigger and deeper, especially if you go tune the pinky. But this one feels more like a one-hand kind of glove. You see a backhand here, really nice. Just a really consistent feel, guys, on all the gloves. Nice. Finally, we're gonna try the LJ10. Just your standard outfield glove, but it's really comfortable. And before I forget to mention, guys, something about Jacks, I don't know if it's like the way they manufacture it, how nice and consistent the leather is like throughout the glove, but on every model, the ball sticks really well. I feel like Trent Grisham. Let me get a grounder. Yep, here's a grounder. Yep, really nice. Great. Finally, we got the catcher's mitt prototype. Again, this one is a 35-inch, so it's a little bigger than a regular glove. But the pocket is just so nice. And this one isn't even fully broken in. Like, still a pretty tough squeeze, but like everything just sticks so well in the pocket. You guys can't really see here, but right between the web and the top of the palm of the glove, which is fantastic. It just feels so natural. Like, look at that. So I'm sure that once they come out with like a 33 or a 33 and a half, they'll be so good to use. I mean, honestly, I feel like if I told people that this was a 35, they wouldn't believe me. Like, they wouldn't even think twice. Yeah. Yeah, I wish like the sound could be picked up by the mics, because that sounds really good. I'm gonna go ahead and put some clips of me playing catch with these gloves in San Diego, and I'm gonna try and put the models of the gloves up on the screen if I can remember which ones they were. Really, really amazing gloves. I mean, the video speaks for itself, so I'm gonna put those up now. Oh, dude, that's already so good. And that's literally 3 minutes of breaking in. That's so good. All right, let me try the other one. These gloves are stuff enough that you gotta break them in, but you know, but not so stiff that it's impossible.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that. It's like it goes in out of the box. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a different one. It was a little smaller. Oh, oh my God. Here, let me see. What? Are you kidding me? What? That's so sick. Dude, that sounds so crazy. That sounds insane. Here's an outfield one, 12 and a half. Look at that. Oh, that's money. Absolutely swallows the ball. Oh my goodness. Wow, dude. This in blue with tan laces, so fire. With the H-Web, 12.25. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh wow. Even this one. So one more time, I'm going to break down the different models that Jax offers. First up, we got the DM5. They have this in the regular version and the S version, so the small one. The DM5 is really good for middle infield. It plays best two in the pinky with the finger out like this, or with the finger in, just like that. Has a really boxy Japanese form. And even though it's a smaller glove, it has a pretty deep pocket that sits really well right around here, right behind the thumb. So it's a really nice feeling glove for middle infield. And if you're brave enough to use an 11.5-inch glove at third base, I would recommend it because it's a really comfortable glove. Next up, we got the EN7, primarily in 11.75. This one is a little bit more versatile because you can break it in with two in the pinky or traditionally. Personally, I prefer the glove broken in traditionally. I actually have two EN7s here that I broke in differently. I broke this one in to be more of a two in the pinky. I think it has a pretty deep pocket because it's also very wide, like most Japanese gloves are. So the pocket sits further up into the web. So this glove is great for third baseman. And then I also broke it in traditionally, which I kind of like better. It just feels a little bit more natural. And it doesn't close that shallow either. Sometimes when you close a glove traditionally, it closes super shallow. But because of the really wide Japanese form, even traditionally, it closes like to the middle finger, which is actually not that bad at all. I also put a nice big space in between the fingers there, kind of to make the glove close a little bit more evenly. I feel like that helps a little bit. I also use different methods. I steamed this one over at Charlie Rose in San Diego for like 2-3 minutes and it came out perfectly. This one, I actually unlaced the fingers here up until the web, and I used that flexibility to break in the glove just by using a mallet, and both came out really, really nice. I'm gonna make a crazy comparison right now, and people who know gloves really well will be really surprised when I say this, but I feel like Jax is trying to come after these guys. And I say that because of the way they construct their gloves. Wilson Staffs are known for their comfort and how lightweight they are, and Jax does things really similarly to Wilson Staff because they have no extra padding in the thumb and pinky loops, so it makes the glove lighter and much more sleek on the hand. I know this is a Jax review, but if you have never tried a Wilson Staff before, I recommend trying a Wilson Staff and then trying a Jax to see how similar they are. And if you can't get your hands on a Wilson Staff because they're like $600, then of course Wilson has been around for longer, so the gloves are a little bit better, but Jax is doing a really good job of competing with those guys. And I think most people that know about Jax don't know that that's actually what they're trying to do. They're not trying to make an American glove. They're trying to make Japanese style baseball gloves popular in the United States. And I think they're doing a really good job, and people aren't realizing what they're trying to do, which is crazy. We have the LJ10 outfield glove. They make this one in 12.5 with an H-web and a trapeze web. They also have the S version, which is 12.25. They also make that with the H-web and the trapeze web. They also have pitcher's models. I haven't picked one up yet. I probably won't because I'm not a pitcher. But if I do pick up a pitcher's glove, it's definitely going to be one with a basket web because I think basket webs look so sick. We also have their catcher's mitts and first base mitts coming soon. As I mentioned previously, it's a 35-inch mitt, so it's pretty big, but it's actually not that heavy. I could imagine if they make a 33 or 33.5. I think it's just going to make for a really fun glove to use that's durable and easy to throw around and frame with. Only thing I would recommend is probably do a bar lacing, a little looser to keep with the Japanese style, but otherwise, super comfortable mitt. Just fits on my hand just like this, and it feels like the ball is going right here. I'm gonna finish up with pros and cons of Jax because there are some cons, but there are only cons if you don't like these about gloves. They're not that cushiony, so they're pretty stiff on the hand when you first put them on, but they break in pretty easily without losing that rigidity over a long period of time. Another con can be their price, but if you're willing to spend the $379 on a Jax, you won't be disappointed. And I know it sounds like I'm shilling for them or that I'm sponsored by them. I'm not. I've actually happened to buy these gloves myself. Besides the mitt, I was just sent to try it out. There are other glove brands I've tried out where I bought like 1 or 2 to give them a try, and I don't stick with them because I just don't think they improve that much over time. However, with Jax, I can only see them getting better because they have a really dedicated team that really cares about what they do. Another con can be that they don't customize gloves. And, you know, nowadays everybody wants a flashy glove. Everybody's into the customs. but I think they offer enough colorways that are really high quality that you won't really feel the need to get a custom glove from Jax, at least not for a while. Do I think they should break into the custom market? I think they should try and invest a little bit more into that because it's really popular, but I like what they're doing with small batches. Their small batches keeps their gloves really consistent. So for example, they'll only make like a dozen of these, but that means that they're carefully crafted. And that also means the resale value is pretty high. So if you don't like a Jax glove, you could sell it for close to what you paid for it because they're not necessarily rare, but they're rarer than mass-produced gloves that you get at Dick's or Scheels. Really good value overall and a good resale value. So if you're a collector and you want to just like move these around, you can do that as well. That's going to do it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe and use code Yonkers10 for 10% off Jax gloves. So if you haven't pulled the trigger yet and you need something to help you, there's that code Yonkers10 for 10% off. Again, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon.